If I can paraphrase Liza Doolittle, the pine in spine is easy to explain. In English, the pain in Spain is easy to explain. The whole European thing. It was astonishing after the Greek elections to hear commentators rejoicing and exclaiming, the Eurozone has dodged the bullet. With very few exceptions, the general opinion among most news commentators seemed to be, everything will now be okay. Really? By what alchemy do we conclude that the solution to a debt crisis is to borrow more money? At 6%. I recall a cartoon in which two gangster types are at the river's edge, threatening a Democratic donkey who stands with his feet in a tub of cement, and one of them says, "The boss ain't happy. You owes him a lot of money." And the Democratic donkey says, "Hey, fellas, I'll just raise my debt ceiling. Problem solved." But raising the debt ceiling in the USA or Greece, borrowing more money from the Eurozone, doesn't solve their financial problems, and it won't solve ours. Europe is an almost comical example of bad money management. It's like watching an old Three Stooges movie. Everything they use in an attempt to solve the problem results in another head bump or another eye gouge. For example, Spain is trying to avoid its own debt crisis. How? By borrowing from Italy, which itself is nearly a basket case. But Italy has an ace in the hole. They're borrowing from France, which has run 19 straight years of deficits. Doesn't anyone in Europe know what house of cards means? How about row of dominoes? The biggest nations are in the same kind of trouble. The USA has tens of trillions of dollars of debt now, but more than $120 trillion of entitlement spending waiting in the wings to explode. China has polluted the Yalu River basin by making it the world's shop floor, but even their economy, which was growing at 10% a year, is now running out of gas. They're building empty cities while millions are homeless. New billionaires in China are buying Italian supercars while the products of Chinese auto factories get stockpiled in fields to rust because there's not enough domestic or foreign buyers. There is only one workable solution to the international debt crisis, and it starts with the understanding that if all money continues to be created as interest-bearing debt, there can never be enough money to pay the debt plus interest. In every economy in the world, whether communist or capitalist, the problem is that governments borrow from the international banksters the money that they need to buy the support of their voters with ever-increasing promises that will not, in the end, be kept. Nations are afraid to make their own money interest-free because the international banksters threaten to cut off their credit if they do. So gradually, but at a pace that is accelerating dangerously, the ownership of everything of value is being taken over by the bankers, whose only business is creating money out of thin air with nothing to back it and loaning it to governments for projects that will ultimately impoverish the people. Someday, somewhere, some country is going to realize that their government has the constitutional authority to create their own money interest-free. And as long as they can resist the temptation to debase their own currency to buy votes, it will prosper. I'm Ron Gray, and that's the way I see it. The Wall Street Journal now warns us of something we've been saying for a couple of years. Major inflation and the devaluing of the dollar and the euro are just around the corner. But they caution in a headline article, don't invest in the dinar. There are other better places to protect your wealth. Here's their warning, carried in WorldNet Daily. There's a major power shift coming in the global currency market, one that will completely shake up the status quo. As the US dollar and the euro buckle under the weight of enormous debts and reckless monetary policy, there's only one outcome: significant inflation and a long-term devaluation of those two currencies. As they decline, many investors have bailed on the currency market, unsure of how to profit from a new world order. Then they offer as a circulation premium a free report, which they say will show us exactly where and how to invest. As three other currencies vault into a leading market role. Their headline says, 3 currencies you must buy before their imminent revaluation. That means that they're going up in value. And all you have to do to get this report is to opt into the Wall Street Daily News e-letter. It won't cost you a penny, they say, because both the report and the e-letter are free. They just want the exposure to their service. So if you'd like an internet link to this Wall Street Journal offer, send me an email to rkrrongray, all one word, rkrrongray@gmail.com, and I'll email you the link back, and you can make your own decision on whether or not to follow the Wall Street Journal's advice. One thing is sure: our nations cannot go on spending beyond their income forever. Eventually, the result must inevitably be inflation and a loss of value of our currency. I'm Ron Gray, and that's the way I see it.